Solving the 3x3 with one hand is one of the most popular events in the WCA because you don't need to learn anything new. But how do you get started, and how do you get to the competitive level where you're getting to the finals? In this video, I will break that down all for you coming up. What's up, cubers? I'm ATSP Cuber, and on this channel I amplify your knowledge by twisty puzzles. But if you're new, consider subscribing. Let's get started with one hand. So you're basically gonna hold your puzzle. Like this. You're gonna use your pinky to do the R move, and your pointer finger to do U moves. If you want to do an M move, you're going to hold on the table and do this. But M moves are highly not recommended in one-handed, unless you can get really good with them. And if you do get really good with them, you're probably going to use Rue, and Rue solvers can get really fast in one-handed. But with my experience, it's just C-Fop. You're probably not going to be the fastest with the one hand, and that's where you want to start training your hand to be stronger. You're probably not very strong on your hand, because you're used to solving it with two hands. So you practice by doing moves like RU R prime U prime, or if you're using your right hand, L prime U L prime U prime LU, and you just do those over and over again. And if you know PLL, you can do algorithms like J prime, T prime, and U prime. Those are the algorithms I suggest starting out with when you're doing it. A lot of cubers will actually solve one-handed with their left hand opposed to their right, as many are right-handed because they do RU moves, and you can only do RU moves realistically fast with your left hand. I used to do left moves like this on two-handed solves until I realized I was faster actually just using my right hand, so I therefore switched. I am left-hand dominant, which makes one-handed a strong event of mine because many people in cubing are right-handed, so they have to train their left hand in one-handed to get good. Right now, let's talk about algorithms. I suggest you do this Z perm, this U perm, and this M perm for two-handed. Actually, you can use the other Z perm. I don't know, a random Z perm I learned, or Z perm, whatever you say. And I do not suggest using them for one-handed, because you have to be obnoxious and do that. So what I suggest is just doing the RU ones, and if you need to do L moves, you're gonna have to rotate to this side. And this is the H palm I use. Fast as I'd be. I don't know the Z perm for one-handed, and since I'm actually decently fast at one hand, I should probably learn it. But for a Z perm, I just do two U perms, which if you memorize the orientation isn't actually that slower than the actual algorithm. If you just want to memorize which orientation you do it, so these two swap, you're just going to do a U perm, and then immediately switch to do it. And for it doing that, it's basically UA perm, and then U prime, and then UA perm again. Alright, so let's now talk about hardware, the thing everyone obsesses with. Even me sometimes. Most of the time, if you're a light turner, you can use the same cube two-handed as in one-handed, but there are some cases where it's better to use a different cube for one-handed one. If you have heavy lubricant in your cube, it'll make it kind of gummy. Also, if you have a newly lubricated cube, probably you want to use one other with some lighter lubricant. Some recommendations I could have are a Moyu cube, like a GTS3, a WRM. I've tried those competitions and they're pretty good. Volk Elite, MTC, the newer MTC, I don't know what it's called, or like an MF3 RS3. Those are some good cubes with some good corner cutting. The reason I'm not recommending GAN cubes is I don't think you should go spend 60 to 100 bucks on a cube that you're just going to spend doing one event on. I just don't think that's worth it. This GAN access is for all my 3x3 events, apart from blind. If I'm able to get the logo off with an eraser, I'll be able to do that for blind. Now let's talk about how to get fast. So basically, get good. No, actually I have some tips. So you can be color neutral on one-handed, which is it's actually a lot easier because you have so much lower TPS with one-handed. So here we can see right here, and you can actually track the pieces quite well, which also makes look ahead pretty easy. So these two, and then these two, and then these two as well. And then that, and then OLL and PLL are pretty straightforward because they're just different colors and they're still the same orientation. That's a white problem. So you can train to be color neutral. The one other tip is get better at 3x3. Know some better algorithm, know some better F2L. Probably relearn PLL so you just have the one-handed PLL. I might make a video in the future. Right now JPerm has a really good video on one-handed algorithms. But many people just use their standard algorithms and don't use different algorithms. And the fundamental part of one-handed is to get some high TPS. Because a lot of people are beginning one-handed, their TPS is quite slow. So if you can get some fast TPS and some good look ahead, just like in two-handed, you'll be set to get podiums. And to just turn the cube faster, it's just doing many one-handed solves, knowing how to look ahead, etc. So, that's all for today's video. I hope this video helped you on getting started with one-handed and getting competitive with one-handed. I'm AT Speedcuber, amplifying your knowledge by twisting puzzles every single day of the week. Thanks for watching. Bye.